Hi, we're back here for part two of session one. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with session one. We have just watched the PowerPoint on good and bad presentations. Andrew, what did you think of the video?
Overall, they did cover the areas of in good and bad.
Yeah.
Like you can discuss each point from the good and bad,
Mm,
and lots of them are shades of
yeah.
like don't talk in a monotone voice. Well, if you've got a monotone voice, that doesn't mean you don't have bad information.
True.
You aren't doesn't mean you're not well informed on the subject, but you probably should recognise that it's monotone and do your best.
Mm,
And the idea that you would rule out people with monotone voice is, well, that has its problems. That there's loads of sharp people with monotone voice. But
yes.
basically, do your best no matter what voice you've got.
Yeah.
And overselling can be quite a bad turn off in a presentation as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the presentation, we're just going to briefly talk about that in the session.
Yeah.
He answered the phone. What did you think of that part when he answered the
Well,
phone?
my first thoughts were that is just totally unacceptable. And then I tried to think, well, maybe if his partner's about to have a baby, it would be acceptable to answer the phone.
Mm,
If he was a doctor on call
mm,
and he'd agreed to do the presentation and you understood that he was on call,
yes.
well, that would be okay. But with my limited life experience, there'd be only two situations that I can think of that
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 it
it
would
would
be
be
okay.
appropriate
Yeah,
to
yeah,
answer the phone.
yeah.
Jack, have you got any others where you think
No,
it?
I think just being on call. Sometimes in the community service sector, sometimes workers will be on call after hours. So sometimes they take turns and they do that. Generally, though, they're not expected to give presentations when they're on call because they answer the phone. The other thing I just wanted to touch on too was what did you think of his clothes and how he was dressed in that video?
Yeah, I think first impressions are important. Um, and if you don't make a good impression straight off,
Mm,
you can recover with quality of content. But um, only you really just need to be neat and tidy.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think I might have mentioned, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but you're a diploma student for community services, and it's often expected that you give a presentation as part of your placement.
yeah,
What you've done one placement before and you've got one to go.
yeah,
What were your experiences of what the people were wearing um, at work? Would that be suitable for a presentation, or would you dress
yeah.
down right
No,
for
I
a
think you would wear what what's acceptable in your workplace.
Yeah,
Oh, in a community service workplace, not in a surf shop.
no, no. So no thongs,
Yeah, no thongs.
no thongs. Okay, yeah. What would you wear for your presentation that you have to do on your second placement, Andrew?
Oh, I would wear a neat shirt with no tie
Yeah.
and a pair of dress pants with a belt,
Mm, mm.
and I would wear shoes and socks.
Okay. Sounds like you've got it down packed.
Oh, especially the socks.
Yeah.
They'd be dark colour socks. I wouldn't wear football colours or whatever.
No, no, no. But the other thing in the video is he had like the data projector, and
Yeah,
he in the first bit he had like a whole heap of writing, which is super boring. And then when he did it really well, he just had videos. What do you think about using prop in
yeah. I think minimal content on the screen and props if that are relevant
yes.
and handout sheets for people to read later or to follow you as you go. But
Mm.
if you can't speak from a single phrase,
Yeah.
you're probably not the ideal person to be doing the presentation.
No, no. So did you notice in the YouTube video that we just watched, in when he was doing a good presentation, he had handouts. Did you notice that?
Yes, I saw those. I thought that's a common practice to give out handouts with a presentation, either as the presentation arises, so people don't have 30 sheets to shuffle through,
Yeah.
and you hand out the pages as you get to a new topic,
Yes.
or if it's not particularly detailed, you hand out all the two or three pages at once.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering, like, you got the handout with a piece of paper. What other props could you use in a presentation?
Well, depending on what you're presenting about, what sort of presentation you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Well, I'm talking about the presentation that you'll be doing on your second placement.
Oh, this is about the one colour collage.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I think you would have, well, especially since my favourite colour is pink, you would have magazines with you'd probably have magazines geared for female
mm,
predominantly,
yeah,
and you would you would tear out the pages beforehand,
okay, yeah,
and you would buy coloured sheets of pink, and you can. There's probably thousands of colours of pink,
mm,
but human beings can only pick the difference between
yeah,
30 or something.
yeah, yeah.
But they say Irish people can pick 50 different shades of green.
uh,
But yeah, I think 20 shades of pink would give you a fair idea of how to use what shades of pink you would use. Yeah, so I'd actually have the coloured pink. I wouldn't have pink on the screen behind me. I'd actually have it in my hand.
Yeah. So depending on what you're presenting about,
Yeah, it's got to be
depends on the
relevant to what
props.
you're presenting. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but for the one colour collage,
yeah,
I I'd have the scissors,
yes,
or yeah, I'd have probably have the scissors unless I decide to tear it for some reason.
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
have the scissors and I'd have the shades of paper, and I might have a sheet of white paper and some glue and stick some as I went, just so it didn't fall on the floor as
yeah.
I was making it, because bending down and picking up piece of paper is a little distracting for the people.
Sure, sure. So in the video, he had like a whole heap of stuff. You want to kind of minimize the stuff that you got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yes, that's back to the first
sure.
impression, that you want to look people confident. You don't want to be coming in shuffling and not looking like you don't know what you're doing.
Really, yeah, yeah, fantastic. So yeah, you were saying too that you already decided on your topic, for a
Yeah,
presentation for your placement about doing one color collage with clients.
yes,
Have I got that right, Andrew?
yes, absolutely. One colour
Right.
collage is a real,
Yeah.
it's a challenge, but it can be simple or
Yeah.
complex.
Yes. Yes. So I'm just conscious of the time. We're just going to wrap up.
So no more time for one colour collage.
No,
Not
not
today.
not today. Maybe another day you could show the rest of the class the one color
Yeah,
collage.
yeah.
But at the moment, I'm just wondering, how did you find the session today?
Yes, I got my fair chance of speaking,
Hmm.
and maybe I rambled a little, but you've managed to keep me to the point.
Yeah, yeah. And is there any sort of takeaway home messages from this? I know it's a little bit jumbled because we had our tech issues and we're in a different location for the second half. But is there anything that you remember about the session today?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, be yourself, and if you are monotone, just do what you
Mm,
can with the content you've got.
yeah, yeah,
If you're not monotone and you just feel dreary about the subject,
mm,
well, you have to put on a brave face
yeah,
and
yeah.
look enthusiastic.
Yeah, yeah. And you were saying too, like we talked at the start, we talked about the good and the bad presentation.
Yeah,
And you talked about humour being a really good source just to sort of lighten the mood and stuff like
yeah,
that. We also talked about it in the earlier as well about the 3 to 4 points, the introduction, the middle, and the body. Would you feel comfortable using that format for your upcoming presentation, Andrew?
oh, definitely, because you want to give people an idea what they're going to look forward
Or
to.
yeah.
And if they've lost track in the middle, you can draw it all together at
Mm.
the end.
Yeah. So like I was saying, you give them a lot of, you tell them what you're going to say what you're going to say, and then you tell them what you've told them.
Yes, it's quite like when you're in a conversation with someone and you want the conversation to finish,
Yes.
you sum up what they've said and then you finish.
Yeah, and that's a real technique that a lot of counsellors will use as well, summarising and you'll probably learn a little bit about counselling in another unit, Andrew.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's summarising and paraphrasing what people are saying, and yeah,
Yeah, yes, yes.
yes, yes.
That's not quite relevant to this
No,
presentation, but
no, but
it is
it's a good
general.
skill to have, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's basically summing up and drawing all the pieces together.
Together.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So your take home message today is not monotone, humour, 3 to 4 points, and the introduction, the middle, and the ending.
yeah,
Is that right?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for taking two at this presentation. I don't know what happened to the second half and why we had to redo it, but
Here we are.
here we are in rope. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
And thank you for having me.
No worries.